We are Erin and Amanda of Level Up Creators and Level Up Creators School. I'm our Director of Operations, and Amanda Northcutt is our CEO. Today, we are talking about our MRR Accelerator and a little update, as well as some systems thinking tips that you can use for your creator business. Okay, so we are so excited that you are spending a few minutes of your day with us. And if you have questions at any point in time, please drop them in the chat and we are happy to answer those. If you have not met us, there are two ways that we help thought leaders like you build rock solid recurring revenue businesses. First is Level Up Creators, which is our white glove consulting firm. And the second is Level Up Creator School, where we help a global group of thought leaders build businesses through a done with you model. Creator School includes access to our consulting team and our methodology in a way that used to be reserved exclusively for our consulting clients. So, hello and welcome. Okay, jump right in. Amanda, where are we at in our MRR accelerator at this point in time? And what are we going to be doing this next week?
Great question. So, in terms of like major things that we have handed over to our 5 accelerator participants for this first cohort, we've got an audit of their current business and quick wins, things that we think that would help move the needle now as we rebuild or build their businesses. They've got North Star documentation, their mission, vision, values, 1 year goals laid out as OKRs, their point of view, their ICP, their ideal customer profile, version 1. So we work in public. We validate all of our assumptions and we don't work in the dark and say, look, we made a product ladder for you, customer. We hope you like it. So we go through these rounds of validation very intentionally, very systematically, speaking of our topic today. And so we have our accelerator participants currently running LinkedIn polls, audience surveys, and very importantly, conducting these 20 to 30-minute voice of customer interviews. So they have been tasked with identifying 5 to 8 individuals who generally match the ICP deliverable that we've given them. And then we've also given them questions, interview questions to ask. And so the answers to those interview questions will help us understand if we are on the right track with our ICP, which we always are on the right track because we're collecting these like massive data sets, but it's more about making tweaks and adjustments and collecting very specific, snippets and phrases and specific words that the ICP is using. And so we're refining and molding based on customer feedback again, as opposed to working in the dark and making assumptions. So we are really in the thick of that right now. And as our creators are doing that, we are very, very, very hard at work at all of their strategies and product ladders. This is the seminal document and deliverable of the entire program. These all drop next Friday. And so we are having a lot of fun nerding out, like designing businesses. This is one of my favorite things to do. So that's what's happening.
Cool. Okay, so if you're drowning in your creator business right now, which system should be the first you build to create a sustainable um, way of doing business and also to help stop the constant firefighting?
Hmm. Yeah, so I think that comes down to prioritization, correct prioritization, and what do I do next? And so you have to understand what you're spending your time on to understand what you should stop doing or start, stop, or keep. I like, 4 buckets: do, don't do, delegate, defer. And so if you take 3 days, 3 work days, and write down everything that you're doing and how much time you're spending on it, then I would go back and look at that and assess first. Like layer number one would be, are these activities getting me closer to my goals? If you don't have goals, you should have goals, because if you don't know where you're going to end up somewhere else. And so being specific and deliberate about where you're headed as a business and taking that seriously. This is not like a side project. This is a company you're running. And so what are you trying to do and who you're trying to do it for? What value, outcomes, and transformation are you trying to provide for a specific subset of the population, your ICP or ideal customer profile? And then how are you going to deliver those solutions to them, right? Is that consulting, coaching, group coaching, a membership, a course, a challenge? I mean, there's tons of different ways to help people realize solutions. But first, you have to know, what am I doing? And then to what end am I doing those tasks? Could some of those, maybe you're doing tasks that you feel, well, let me be gentle about how I'm saying this. Perhaps you're spending far too much time writing content for social
Mm,
media. but what you to the end of social media growth. But perhaps if you're selling one-on-one consulting or one-on-one coaching or small group, you don't need a large audience. You can actually make it work with a small audience. We built a multi-million dollar company in 18 months with fewer than 3,000 LinkedIn followers. And that's like our primary social platform.
Mhm.
Our content is made for depth, and it's meant to demonstrate our expertise. And it's not, we don't chase viral trends or do anything along those lines. We are looking for qualified prospects because we know where we're going. Okay, so is what you're doing getting you closer to your goals? If not, just stop doing it completely. Put it in the don't do bucket. If it is maybe important but not urgent, perhaps you could defer that task for a little bit later. And perhaps if it's something you could delegate, even a calendar management tool like Calendly, like are there some level is there some level of automation that you can integrate into your business to facilitate what you're already doing that machines can help with? Obviously AI. And if it sounds like you, Level Up Creator School is going to be a really, really perfect place for you to go and get access to my consulting team who is running the Accelerator. This is like our top tier of consultants. Our give You get access to them in Level Up Creator School in a pretty crazy way. And so um yeah, that's generally how I think about it. And I could talk literally all day because we have this like killer operational framework, but we'll lose everyone, so I'll stop.
Yeah. And I think it's you that say like the CEO mindset of running your creator business is like understanding the difference of working in slash on your
Mm,
business and like taking those buckets of time to realize the tasks that are the different like buckets of those kinds.
yeah.
Okay. So in the past, how have we taken our clients' businesses and built them in a way that they stay profitable through major platform shifts when most creators, when these platforms do change, see a tank in their revenue?
Mm, you mean social media platforms?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we don't build businesses based on social media platforms and your
Mhm.
followers on social media platforms. We want to own our leads and not be beholden to social media algorithms, owners, political climates, anything like that. And so having an email list, DMing people is important. It's not quite as good as having an email list and like knowing the person's first name and email address and having permission to reach them in their inbox. But DMing is one step better than them just seeing your stuff on social media. So don't build your business in something that you can't control at all. I mean, that's kind of like number one. And so don't go toward the vanity metric, especially if you're trying to build a boutique consulting firm or boutique coaching business where you're doing one-on-one and group programs, which is really like our sweet spot at Level Up Creators. We're seeing a pretty seismic shift in the industry from asynchronous DIY courses to
Mhm.
cohort live models where there is a community piece, there's an accountability piece, which is massive. Because I feel like most people who have purchased a course have probably seen the statistic thrown around that fewer than 10% of people who purchase a course actually complete it. Like we all have some level of self-awareness where we know that we need accountability and other people like going through the same situation that we are. um, and so that's why we don't often help people make courses. But anyway, if that's piques your
Yeah.
interest, like you're not playing towards social media numbers and brand deals per se. Let's lay the foundation of your business because again, with brand deals, like you can't control that. That's you're relying on other companies to come in. So bring in your own customers instead and have like some modicum of reasonable control over what's like happening in your business. Get your own customers.
Yeah. And when you're building a business, how do you find the balance of like a well bit built operating system versus like staying authentic and true and flexible? Because I think like a
Hmm.
lot of what we do is like very customized for our clients, and so
Hmm.
it's like we can have a system. So how do you find the balance between those two things?
Yeah, I think some people tend to look at the pendulum like it has to be either way over here or way over here. So it's like I have to have full creative freedom and I can't have any systems or anything like that. Or I am beholden completely to my operating system, such that like I can't even like pick my head up and look around and see what's going on and make adjustments based on that. So as is often the case, the answer lies somewhere in the middle. And so you want to use an operational framework that works for you, not that you don't work for your operational framework, right? And so we encourage annual goal setting, quarterly goal setting, and we have a very specific methodology for doing that to make sure sort of all the areas of your business are covered and that the areas that need the most attention are getting the most attention, and kind of like the cream rises to the top sort of situation. If you're paying attention in the way that we teach you to pay attention to your business, it's clear, and you have a tremendous amount of freedom and creativity to inject into your business, but you also know that your business isn't like flying off the rails because you have no idea what's going on. And so we're looking for kind of a beautiful partnership between creativity and structure so that you can run your business with a great degree of success and intelligence and confidence and clarity.
And if you can answer this really quickly, I will be amazed. But try. What's the biggest myth creators believe about business systems, and how does our MRR method bust it wide open?
Oh man.
So
Yeah, I have
many.
my
I should
next
have
call
started
in
with
what,
that,
like 22 seconds or something like that. Let's start with that one next week and we'll talk about the
but
MRR
okay.
method, our methodology a little bit. So there's a cliffhanger
Okay,
for
cool.
next week.
Cliffhanger. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining our live stream, and be sure to follow us for more tips and insights on building a successful recurring revenue business. Until next time.